It may rain, but I'm still going to try to get a little bit of distance in on my Portman 2. I'm Professorvoqas, and this is Harry Potter Wizards Unite.
Hello, Professor. I didn't see you there.
I've come up to Bass Lake today, which you can see on my map. It's this lake that you can walk around right here. I feel like it's a couple kilometers, so probably do about one lap. I'm not sure. Probably not going to bring my camera with me because it essentially has a chance to rain all day today, and I definitely don't want to get stuck out there with my camera and my phone and everything else. So we're probably going to go minus camera, but obviously with phone, so I'll still get to see a little bit of what I'm getting. Definitely looking for mysterious artifacts, and then definitely trying to walk those port keys out. And actually, if you look, I do have a couple port keys ready to be opened, and then I have a Peruvian Portman 2 going right now, 0.1 out of 1 kilometer. Which again, I was at the grocery store a little while ago, it was at 0.1, and now I'm here and it's at 0.1. So I didn't even get even another 0.1 just from moving to my car, that type of thing. So I hope the distance still gets registered. A couple things I do want to show you since even really yesterday in the registry. Under mysterious artifacts, decoy detonators on this page is ready to be placed, but I'm holding on to it. Following my own advice from yesterday's video, going to need mysterious artifacts family experience, and on gold, that's going to get me a decent amount. And then down here, two different things. I've been running some fortresses, so the cursed opal necklace and Sirius's flying motorcycle, both of those ready to place. In addition, if I get some omnoculars, that means I can prestige this page, because those two are ready to place. The other three are green starred, and we can go from there. And lastly, I actually got this achievement yesterday, but I just forgot to collect it because I was waiting to collect it. I get 15 spellbooks for this, which I don't particularly need for my professor training. I guess I could do other stuff, or I can just bank them, which I'm going to bank them. So anyway, Strategic Spellcast 3,000 strategic spells and wizard challenges. By the way, if you have this achievement, if you're still newer to the game, strategic spells, it actually isn't meaning those attacking spells. What it means is hexes and like charms. So if as a professor at least, I can put a shield charm, I can do proficiency charm. It's those ones at the bottom of the screen when you're in a fortress that you can either put on creatures to make them weaker or do some damage to them or do things to them, or you put it on people to heal them, to revive them, to buff them, that kind of thing. So 3,000 of those. If you look right underneath, I actually walk 1,000 kilometers. I'm at 882, so not a lot, I know. It really should be more. So let's go ahead and collect that strategic spellcast and get this 15 spellbooks. Nice. Cool. And then right below that, port key Portman 2's opened, 437, so I still feel like that's not a lot. And then right below that, defeat 4,000 foes in wizarding challenges. I'm at 3327. I feel like I should be further along on that too. I need to run fortresses more in general, really. Ah, look at that. I just got the walk 0.25. So let's see what my port key's at now. 0.2. It went up by 0.1, so not as exciting. All right. Well, I'm going to throw Barufios on. I'll throw a tonic on after I see whether spawns are getting produced or not. At this particular lake, they usually are pretty plentiful without a tonic, so there's a good chance I won't put a tonic on because I don't need more event spawns specifically. I just need to walk these port keys, and the tonic doesn't specifically help with that in any way. Ended up seeing a friend of mine to finish that lap around the lake, so I had some company, which was nice. And you saw most of what I was returning, and again, I lost count. It was either 3 or 4, I think. You saw all of them, so it was that number. But it was more than I thought. I thought I was only going to get like 1 or 2. I just didn't realize how many kilometers was around that particular lake. So let's go to the registry, and let's actually look at kind of where I'm sitting in oddities. And then we are going to go over to mysterious artifacts, more prepping for the next event. So Out of these three, this is the Chinese Fireball, Antipodean Opali page. So I'm not going for this at the moment, but I'm 10 out of 12 on the Fireball eggs and 7 out of 12 on the Antipodean. So not too far away for those. And then for out of these four, for the Green Welsh, I'm 10 out of 12 and 5 out of 12 for the Peruvian. Now the Peruvian 5 out of 12, so I need 7 total. Left. I want to go over to port keys. So over in port keys, 1, 2, 3, 4. So I have 5 Peruvian Portman 2 that I need to unlock. So I'm still going to need 2 more to make it to just bronze on that page. Which, by the way, at this point, if I can just make both pages to bronze, I'm going to call that successful. But for the Common Green Welsh, I need 2 more, and you can see I have the next 2 are kind of lined up. I'm 0.1 out of 1 kilometer on this one. It hasn't really moved much because I haven't moved much since I left the lake. There's a Chinese Fireball randomly thrown in there, but not a big deal. As I'm getting rid of these, as I do these 2 green ones, I'm definitely going to pick up 2 blue ones for the Peruvian, just so I'll know at least I have 2 bronze in my registry. Again, I think it's going to be necessary for me to use the gold to buy the 10 silver keys to make sure I can move this to bronze, essentially. So back to the registry. One other thing I wanted to show you. For Mysterious Artefacts, which has nothing to do with the Dragon event, it's getting ready for the next event, the battle at the Department of Mysteries. On this page here, my decoy detonators, that image is ready to be placed for the family experience we'll need for that one task. The umbrella I'm still far away from, but with increased spawns I might get from 13 to 55. But the Weasley's clock, I'm only 3 away. The Remember All, I'm only 1 away. And the Quillum book, I'm only 2 away, which is... So for all of those, I feel like I might be able to actually get to placing that image before I need to do that family XP, and I should have a decent number of images. And then we'd already shown down here, I have the Cursed Opal Necklace, and then I have Sirius's Flying Car ready to be placed, and the Marauders map I've gotten since then. That's 12 out of 12 too. So more images to be placed. On this page, nothing particularly close to being placed, so I'm not sure if that'll happen. But I should get some good family experience from these, which should let me get that family experience task out of the way. So again, double check your Mysterious Artifacts, and if you're open your game and you have a whole bunch of spawns that you're not going to necessarily click on everything, go ahead and go after the Mysterious Artifacts just for this, unless it's something you need for another reason. But if it doesn't matter for any particular reason what you're clicking on, go ahead and click on that, just so you're closer to placing those images. The last thing I wanted to talk about today is something somebody had asked me a couple questions about this, I don't know, a couple episodes ago. So I wanted to go into it today. We're not going into everything, but I went into the suitcase, and then from this page, upper left corner, I'm hitting the gears. And I wanted to go over some of the settings that you may have never messed with that would affect your gameplay day to day. So I've come down to notifications. This is kind of a big one that, again, it's personal preference, but just so you know, these possibilities exist if you haven't really ever come to this page. So events, offers, and updates, I have mine on. It's just going to show me things when that comes up. But let's not worry about that for gameplay. It's the next one down, potions ready. So potions ready, mine is set to on, meaning I'm allowing the game, when the game is closed, my phone is completely closed, I will actually get a notification banner that comes across that tells me when my potion's done brewing, which just reminds me to go in and put the master notes in. So if you have it off, you have to open the game to check. If you have it on, it'll tell you, so then you can at least just go in and make those adjustments, or put new potions in if that's something you need to do. Skipping down to the fourth one, again, we're just trying to go more for like in the game itself. Fourth one down, finishing port keys. Now, I have mine off right now. I'm going to go ahead and switch it to on, mainly because I open my game all the time. It's not necessarily needed for me, but finishing port keys, meaning when a port key gets done being walked, it immediately alerts you, hey, your port key's done. This one, I guess, especially if you're using gold key like I do, and you're moving it 1 to 1 to 1, this means you won't have any wasted distance from the notifications, at least. So a port key gets done, it'll notify you so you know to open your game then, and you won't have to open your game otherwise and worry about, is my port key done? So that right there, kind of a big one, especially for this event. If you're not already in the habit of opening your game all the time to check, go ahead and turn that on, and it'll give you that notification if you don't mind notifications coming from your phone. But turn that on, and then whenever you're done with the port key, you'll know you can go in and go ahead and move the key to the next one when we're really trying to maximize our distance. In a very recent video, I talked about Adventure Sync, tracks distance and location while the app is closed. I have mine on, so when the app is closed, it's still tracking my distance, so I get it for those port keys. Again, when you first hit it on, it'll actually, with your phone, whether it's an iPhone or an Android, you're going to have to give permissions. So each phone has its own thing. You can certainly, if you're not sure how that all works, you can definitely Google that of how your particular phone needs to go through the steps to give it permission to make sure you're getting that distance when the app's closed. And then just last two things I want to go over. The first one, it's a third one down under Advanced. Enable gyroscope for port keys. So normally port keys, when you open them up, especially when you first get the game, you open them up and you have your phone up and you can move around. That's your gyroscope is on at that point. It's just measuring where you are, and you click on the rack spurts. This right here, enable gyroscope for port keys, if you turn this off, you don't have to move around. It just has you touch the screen and you just swipe to look around. So especially if you're in a space where you can't do all this, or you just want things to go a little quicker, then you can do it that way. And actually a bonus thing that has nothing to do with this, with the rack spurts, and I've talked about this before, when you're in a port key, as soon as you click on the first rack spurt, you can go to the upper left corner of your screen and hit the, there's like a wizard, a little wizard, white wizard symbol. Like I always say it looks like it's running away. It's the flea symbol, really. If you leave after one rack spurt, it just goes right to the reward screen, and it just gives you all the stuff. You're not losing anything, but you don't have to actually click on 5 rack spurts. Now, certainly it's more fun to move around and find them, but for an event like this where maybe we're trying to go quicker, that would be something you could do. And then the last thing, it has nothing to do, I guess, with you actually while you're playing, but it's down here. Both of mine are grayed out. It's download all assets, download essential assets. Download all assets when there's new things available, like update 2.15 will be coming at some point. There'll probably be a red dot, and it'll try to lead you here. There'll be a red dot on those gears up in the corner we just clicked on a little bit ago. And when you come here down at download all assets, there'll also be a dot, and you'll actually be able to hit it. Like right now it's grayed out, so nothing happens. When there's new things that the game wants you to have, you would download it here. Now if you don't have the space on your phone, then I guess that would be a reason to not download them. But in general, it'll make the game go faster, because when you encounter something new, or when you encounter, if they put new things into the game and you don't have them on your phone, then when you go to view it, or you go to click on that foundable, or whatever you're getting ready to interact with the game, any images or data that needs to be loaded, it has to actually happen right then, which means you're using whatever network you're on, and you have to wait for it to load. When you load it earlier, if you download all the assets to your phone and they're there, it means when you encounter things, it's just pulling that information from your phone itself instead of having to go back and forth with the network. Speaking of which, I would do this while you're at home or on a Wi-Fi network. Any Wi-Fi, it really doesn't matter, is instead of using network data, because sometimes it's just a small bit of data, but sometimes it can be a little bit more, like update 2.15 might be a bigger chunk of data. So instead of having to use, if you only have like 5 gig or 6 gig or 10 or whatever, and you're not unlimited, then using your whatever cellular network you have, that you would end up using that for this. And you probably don't want to waste the data there when you could just do it over a Wi-Fi. So if you have Wi-Fi at home, do it there, or just use a public Wi-Fi like a Starbucks or something like that. A bit of a quicker episode today, but I hope you found the settings information useful. I hope there was at least one thing in there that you weren't aware of. And if you were aware of all that, then you're already on top of the game. You don't need me telling you how to do the things. Anyway, only a couple more days of the event left, so keep walking those port keys and keep fighting those dragons. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you tomorrow. Knox.